What is farm biosecurity? Farm biosecurity involves management practices. These practices will actually reduce the risk on the farm. But how? How do they reduce risk? By limiting the likelihood of introducing and spreading animal diseases and pests. Biosecurity measures can be very simple, and they can become a part of your regular routine to ensure safety. Most measures are low cost and go a long way in securing farms for their future. So what are the benefits of a biosecurity plan? Less sickness and better gain. This is greater productivity on your farm. Less chance of bringing in new diseases, reducing your risks to the farm. Finding and controlling rodents, which is early detection and management of any pests and diseases. Reduced costs if there's an outbreak of disease or pests. Biosecurity should be practiced in many ways. On the farm, there are many management sections that need to incorporate a biosecurity plan. Farm inputs are a major part of biosecurity practices. Farm inputs refer to everything or anything that is brought onto the farm, even bags of feed from the feed store. New livestock that comes onto the farm should be purchased from a trusted source, one who you know keeps good records and gives accurate information. Give all animals a good look over. Check their health, isolate them from the rest of the herd. Keeping them away from your main herd will allow for recognition of disease symptoms. Biosecurity practices also involve taking animals off of the farm. When taking animals off the farm, the animals should be healthy and safe for travel before loading. Diseased or injured animals should not be moved off the farm. If necessary, veterinary attention should be sought. If required, such as taking animals out of state, a health certificate is required and should be kept with the animals during transport. The same precautions should be taken when taking animals to shows and sales. Ensure pen and housing areas are clean before animals enter. Feed and water livestock separately if possible. And if equipment is shared, always clean and disinfect before and after use. If not, diseases such as ringworm can easily be spread. Upon returning home from a show or sale, isolate livestock to allow for signs of disease to be shown. Staff, visitors, vehicles, and machinery, these can all be unintentional carriers of disease. Controlling who enters the property by limiting your entry points and locking restricted access is another biosecurity method that can be taken. Sometimes this can look suspicious to the public, but we know it is for the health and safety of our animals. Visitors should report to management to sign a visitor registration or maintain a daily journal that documents visitors. Have visitors use protective clothing when they come onto the farm. Washing boots and equipment is important, so providing an area to do this will help control any spread. Displaying clear and simple and highly visible signs that support biosecurity. They can be something as simple as report to the house before driving around the property. All of your production practices also need to have a biosecurity plan in mind. The most important part of livestock production is identification and keeping accurate records. Livestock monitoring and record keeping help identify potential biosecurity concerns. Vaccinate animals upon arrival. Preventing disease is key in biosecurity. You can also prevent disease by isolating sick animals. Facilities maintenance can help prevent wildlife exposure, injuries to animals, and proper ventilation. Chemical use around the farm could leave chemical residue in the end product. We want to ensure that does not happen, just like drug residue. Training and record keeping for chemical use is needed. This will help ensure residue levels are acceptable in crops, pasture, and in livestock. Having a clean and well-maintained farm is an important biosecurity practice. When a farm is clean and tidy, it's easier to tend to the livestock and to keep up with all of the biosecurity practices. Be sure to clean equipment between each use of animals. When dealing with a group of animals, always use equipment and go from healthy to sick. Use the equipment on healthy animals first, then tend to the more sick ones. A good example would be hoof trimming in sheep or goats. You want to be sure that we're trimming the clean animals before you get to the ones with hoof rot. That way you're not spreading disease. If that's not possible, Be sure to stop and disinfect when moving from a sick animal to a healthy animal. Avoid borrowing equipment, but if you must, disinfect before and after you use it. Wildlife is another section of a biosecurity plan. Have you ever had a stray animal wander into your barn? Have a plan for these feral animals and pests. Record the dates that you've seen them and record dates that you use control measures. If you see a stray or feral animal, be sure to observe them for signs of disease. Continue to monitor your livestock for these signs of disease as well. Work with your neighbors. What is affecting your farm can also be affecting their farm. Biosecurity is an essential part of ensuring herd health, both on and off farm. While promoting profitability and responsible agriculture, biosecurity needs to be taken into consideration. Regular maintenance, routine procedures, and accurate record keeping help to ensure healthy livestock and healthy people.